What's up, Late Cake Podcast? We're here coming at you live on Friday, out from G Lover versus Thiago Santos. An interesting matchup for implications with the light heavyweight title. I think we were all wondering what's going on if Teixeira's tied up and Santos is tied up and Reyes just got beat and Pokratska's booked. What's going on with the title here? And then we figured out Israel Adesanya sliding into those matchups like, Mike slides into, young voluptuous women's DMs and getting the title shot against...
but not too young.
Not too young, just 15 and up. Yeah,
whoa.
But first, before we talk about this, we are the Lake Thick Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. We got Michael Asiffo, Jeremy Asiffo, David currently absent. He's out at... they were having like a feminist slam poetry event at coffee time. He couldn't resist. He had to lay down some bars. So David, good luck on the competition. He'll probably win it because he has male privilege, but it's okay. And I am your Führer, Stefano Hosko, either way. Cup champion.
Hosko. That's. Mm-hmm. I remember that's what I used to call you. Yes.
It is. Please forgive him. Mike has... Well...
Wait, the unprofessionalism. Whose phone is ringing in the middle of this podcast?
Not me. I mean, mine's on the table, but it's not ringing. It's probably yours, big guy.
All right, let's get some energy.
Let's just take a second to turn off our phones here.
All right,
I'm not turning mine off. I gotta find the news.
Oh, by the way, this election's been crazy.
Oh my God, dude. I stayed up on the election day like an idiot thinking that I was going to find out something conclusive that day.
Not a chance.
I stayed up till 3 a.m. drinking. Like, you know that meme of Matthew McConaughey while he's smoking the cigarette? Like, that was like me on election night. And then it was like, I'm like, shit, man, this looks like it's going red. I was scared, and I woke up the next morning and Michigan, Wisconsin are blue. I'm like... Oh, thank God.
I just love watching the reactions of people like online. Like social media is hilarious. Right
I saw a funny meme where it was when it's like black people when they saw Michigan flip and it was LeBron doing the yeah. You got up. You remember?
Yeah, man.
Here's what I want to know. Did they hire a bunch of grandmas from Big O Night to count the votes in Nevada?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Man, the Nevada memes have been hilarious.
Oh, they've been gold.
Oh, it's like the one with Flash from Zootopia, where it says Nevada shouldn't take too long to count, and it's like Nevada, and it's a sloth. It's been pretty
I saw one where it's like Donald Duck sleeping, and it's like Nevada poll counters after counting 3 votes.
That's a good thing about, like, at least we found out the bright side about pandemics and elections and everything is that we found out that, people still have a sense of humor.
Oh, yeah. It makes dark times make for excellent memes, right?
Yeah, they do. They really do.
This is a Light Kick podcast where we recite memes that we saw this morning to you. I got some interesting news.
Interesting.
It's like
Stefano, why are you like this? I have to ask.
I was dropped on my head as a child, and then I was punched several thousand times over the course of the last 10 years.
Fair enough. Okay. All right. What's your interesting news?
Well, just give me a second while I pull it up.
You sure you have it ready? What was that?
So,
also, full disclosure, Stefano came insanely late.
That's Mike's fault. Mike said, "Look, Stefano, I'm kind of low energy. Can you just delay it a little bit? I want you to be the villain of the show." I'm like, "It's okay, Mike. Relax. I'll be the villain. I'll take the heat for you. Don't worry, man. Okay, don't worry. I got you. You understand? Okay." So,
the only person who whispers.
Why don't you just?
My girlfriend.
Why don't you just quit your job as a coach and just go be a friggin' phone entertainment service or whatever?
That's a good idea.
That's what you want to do.
I got something entertaining for you guys and the fans out there.
Oh my God! I hate when he does that shit.
Jeremy didn't even flinch.
My eardrums went out a long time ago.
All right.
Okay, so first of all, Did I announce Caitlin Trukagan versus Cynthia Calvillo? Don't care. Michelle Waterson versus Amanda Hebus.
Kinda care.
Kinda care. I like Amanda Hebus. I don't like. I like Michelle Waterson. I just don't find her particularly compelling as a fighter. Now here's where we get interesting. You guys know Manel Cape?
The flyweight.
Well, yeah, in Risen, he was a bantamweight. He won the bantamweight title out in Risen, and now he's dropping down to flyweight. And he's interesting because, Kyoji Horiguchi initially, former title challenger for the UFC throne at 125, went away to Risen, worked with ATT, and developed his skills and became like a monster because he already had the striking acumen where he was giving DJ problems on the feet, but then he worked on his wrestling and now he is a threat. So he lost to he had a huge run, won the Ryzen 135 tournaments out there, up a weight class, right? Won a tournament, and then he lost to a huge Japanese prospect out there by the name of Kai Asakura. If you don't know him, he's another very interesting karate fighter. And then in a huge upset loss, Kai Asakura lost the title to Manel Cape. Manel Cape, who's actually from Angola, which interesting that, Angola is able to produce a prospect of the quality of Manel Cape. And really, he was kind of marketed as just like a wild man, like the second Charles Crazy Horse. Mm-hmm. But in his last fight, he showed some skills, like a lightning counter left hand, and was just able to stop Kai Asakura. So he's making his UFC debut against Alejandro Pantoja, who I vaguely remember him. I know he's got some skills, but I don't remember any of his fights. If I pulled them up and rewatched them, I just remember that he's a maniac. But yeah,
his last fight, Pantoja's last fight, was against Askar Askarov.
That's right. Yeah. I thought he beat Askar in that fight.
I didn't. I thought the judges made the right decision, but it was close. It was hella close.
It was close. That's right. That's where I remember him from. So that's going to be an interesting fight to look forward to. And then we've got Stephen Thompson versus Jeff Neal announced at welterweight.
I am excited for that one. Yeah, I think I really like Jeff Neal. Great. The reason why I like this matchup a lot. Now I do think Wonderboy has the edge in technical ability, but they're both really good technical strikers who approach this striking game in completely different ways.
And man, let me tell you, if Jeff Neal hits you, they don't call him Hands of Steel for nothing. If he hits you, you're going to sleep.
Yeah, especially with Wonderboy, who's getting up there in age. You
never know.
You don't know the durability of Wonderboy at this point.
In his last fight, he managed to beat Vicente Luque in an excellent performance, but he was a little more aggressive. He got caught coming out of some of those exchanges with that cover-up left hook counter. So it could be interesting. It makes for a more interesting fight, being willing to stick around in those exchanges a little longer and throw punches 3 and 4 instead of just 1 and 2. But
how much of that was because Luque was so compromised by the end of it that when it doesn't matter if he got caught?
Could be. We never know. But regardless, I'm excited. There's one more matchup I wanted to talk about that I can't quite remember. Oh, Roy Jones versus Mike Tyson is coming up. If you like old men fighting, enjoy. Ultimate Fighter is back, and that's exciting. I can't find it anywhere. I guess it got deleted, but there's one more big matchup.
By the way, for everyone who doesn't know, 6 weeks from now, Megan Anderson tries to save the featherweight division. Megan Anderson tries to save the featherweight division from Amanda Nunes.
Tim the Dirty Bird Means versus Mike Perry booked at welterweight November 21st. That's an interesting little fight. Mm-hmm. Mike Perry, obviously a wild man with some problems. Tim Means throws an elbow like no other, so that's going to be a good fight. Islam Makhachev versus Rafael Dos Anjos, rebooked for November 14th.
Literally a week from now.
Yeah, like, Rafael, we love you, buddy, but stop taking these matchups that are just simply not favorable, right? We talked about JDS Cyril Gane. There was one more, but it's okay.
When's that Cyril Gane JDS fight?
Did I talk about Dominic Reyes versus Yuri Podkoratska, which is booked?
Oh, it's been booked for, I want to say December 21st?
February 27th.
February 27th.
Which is good, because you like to see after getting knocked out, you get like a long turnaround for Reyes. Yuri Podkoratska is weird as a fighter. Before
he got knocked out, though, how excited would you have been if Dominic Reyes would have fought Israel Adesanya.
Oh, super excited. Even more excited. Even
that
more
would have
excited.
been, me too. I feel like so too.
Dominic Reyes, I think it's two guys who are super elusive. This was the weird thing about Reyes in his fight with Jan. The elusiveness was not there at all.
Yeah, I think Luke Thomas brought up a good point. It's just like Jan no-sold him. He's like, I'm not chasing you. I'm not going to do it. And he threw some weapons which were just odd choices in a southpaw versus orthodox matchup, but they worked.
Yeah, close side body kick. Was weird.
the left kick up, and it paid dividends, right? Jan fighting Izzy. That's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah. Any other matchups you want to get?
Israel Adesanya. No, that's I think that's about it. But those are some good fun fights that I look forward to talking to. Oh, we just recorded an interview with UFC, longtime UFC fighter, all around nice guy. The man does not stop smiling. Sam Alvey. So that'll be coming out in the upcoming weeks.
Yeah. Not going to lie, there were some technical errors. That's why it's not out like tomorrow.
We got to fix the technical errors, and then we'll get it out to you, the fine people of the leg thick.
Yeah.
With these thick legs. Juicy.
Stefano, I really do have to ask, why are you like this?
I was dropped on my head as a child. What else? I thought I told you.
But yeah, let's see. Wow, I am.
It's a low energy day today, guys. We're like Jeb Bush, low energy. The election has burnt us all out. Really,
I am so tired. I've been up all day. My girlfriend's been asking, why are you so concerned about this? And I just
because it's the fate of the
the Western world is in
the world. This is the most powerful nation in the world, and we need to know,
who is going to lead us.
Yeah. Regardless if you're, you want the Democrats to win or you're wrong, then, we at the Leg Kick accept your support, and thank you for tuning in and listening to us today.
There's going to be some people who are going to take that and just be so upset with you.
Good. If you can't take a joke, then, if that joke offends you, then, maybe you should not be listening to our content if you're in primary school, if that joke hurts you. But anyways, we got some interesting fights coming up, and I got to get the poop out of here because we're recording late and I got to go teach. Yeah. Completely my fault. Yes, I'm sorry.
What's wrong with you?
I'll flagellate myself, and that's not a dirty word. It means to beat yourself.
No, I understand what flagellate means.
I'm making sure because you guys are going to be like,
We're adults.
Stefano's being exactly like how he is every other day. Ooh. Okay.
This man's got jokes.
I was like, did you guys get it? It took a while.
One more piece of news, and I think you guys will find this a little bit funny. Deontay Wilder now has a new excuse. Why Tyson Fury beat him.
We were supposed to talk about that.
Yeah,
apparently
talking about that.
His own corner poisoned his water.
Oh God,
dude, just give it up.
Oh my goodness,
stop. It's time to stop.
Listen, Deontay Wilder, nicest person, one of the nicest people you'll meet, but he's just got too many yes men, bro. He's got too many yes men around his corner, or in his corner, who are just like you have to accept that the better man won. You have to accept it was 10 months ago.
Yeah, that's the thing. The better man won, and like you said, great dude. Fascinating to watch as a fighter. He's one of the coolest phenomenons I've seen in heavyweight boxing, but this is not a good sign. In the immediate aftermath, you want to blame the suit, you want to blame this. I get it. It's tough taking a loss like that in one of the highest profile fights in your career, but 10 months later, this is not a good sign for Deontay Wilder fans.
In fairness, too, Connor said some weird stuff.
My foot swelled up like a balloon.
Yeah, he said some weird stuff after. Paulo Costa, although that's a little more recent, but he just recently said some next things about his leg already hurting the day of the fight. Something. It's
true, and who knows? As far as injuries going into the fight, I'm a little more willing to take that as an excuse than my own trainer poisoned my water. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Watch it actually happened, and we're all going to look like fools. He produces some kind of evidence.
Yeah.
We found arsenic in his water bottle.
Yeah, 10 months later.
10 months later, yeah.
But I have my own conspiracy theories as to why Muhammad Ali became more. What's that? What did he have?
The Thrilla in Manila?
Had Parkinson's.
Parkinson's. I have my own conspiracy theories, but
getting punched in the head repeatedly throughout his career?
Nah,
That doesn't. You don't think that's it? No?
It's not juicy enough.
You don't think boxers?
It's not juicy enough.
It's not juicy enough.
You don't think boxers get brain trauma? Is that it? We need another explanation.
Yeah. Come on, juicy.
I'd like to hear your explanation, but just before you say that, I'd just like to preface it with apparently one of the reasons why Muhammad Ali had bad brain trauma was in the gym, he would just try out anything, any style. Like he'd play with styles that he wasn't good with and end up taking a lot of punishment as a result because he just play around and try out everything and he'd lose a ton of rounds in the gym as a result just because he was so
Listen,
creative.
I didn't say I held a lot of stock in them. I just said I had
I just that came to mind, but And yeah, but boxers spar notoriously hard. It's so dumb. But go on, tell me.
What the hell is with that? What's her face? Friend. Yeah, she hits really hard for no absolute reason. God bless her soul.
Well,
like,
she
we're
also,
actually friends.
oh no, I'm not gonna. You know what? I should say that on air.
Oh yeah, off record. We'll talk. But yeah, like unreasonably,
Well, I'll tell you what else. This I won't say the previous thing, but I'll tell you what else she does. This we can censor out her name, but like someone unrelated when I was rolling with them in jiu-jitsu. Unrelated, similar person who has an identical name.
Don't worry. You know what I'll do? I'll just censor the name.
The name, yeah.
So that way no one knows exactly what we're talking about.
She's like, had 2 amateur fights where she did not very well. And then like, I go to, I feel bad even telling the story. This is a friend of mine, so you watch yourself. Friend, eh? I was rolling with her. She tells Robbie before she rolls with him, like, oh, I'm not going to roll with you. It wouldn't even be worth my time. He's like, okay. And then she goes to roll with me. I have her in side control. And we're rolling, not even fighting. And she's like elbowing me from bottom side control in the face. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? She's like, I'm an MMA fighter. I'm like, yeah, I'm an MMA fighter too, but we're rolling. If I wanted, I could squish your head like a watermelon. Like,
Oh,
what? What are you doing? Learn some jiu-jitsu. You're like a ladybug off of your back. Jesus.
Okay. Can we? Should we talk about
The fights?
Yeah.
You got a man, but you're getting around. Okay, yeah. Pull it up.
All right. Thiago Santos versus Glover Teixeira.
Can you pull up the card, good sir?
I'm looking.
Oh, do it now.
Listen. All right. I am one man. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention our internet's down, so we
I'm
can't
gonna pull this up on my phone. We are a low budget podcast.
My internet's down, so yeah. Okay. Thiago Santos, Glover Teixeira,
G Lover, as I like to call him, G Lover.
Why?
Because that's what they called him on Tap Out when he was on Tap Out. You remember the Tap Out show?
Oh yeah,
It's one of the best. They were so good at scouting talent. I say this like every month, but like on the podcast, they found Cowboy Cerrone, Glover Teixeira, Johnny Hendricks. Oh man, there's so many different ones that are really good. But they scouted a lot of Damasio Page before they were big talents. They found a ton of fighters. So yeah, our main event, Glover versus Thiago. Well, this is an absolute wild man who throws incredibly hard against somebody who has an aptitude for a cross counter over the top into a left hook. And he does that very well. Stays patient, is able to, find his opportunities late in the fight. His ground game is exceptional, has a crazy squeeze from the head and arm triangle position.
My thing is that you start to notice there's a bit of a resurgence with Jeremy. You're in my camera. Come on, move to the left.
Also, I have no snare in my headphones.
Who cares about your snare? It's about me. I'm a narcissist. Okay, but in all seriousness, here's the thing about.
He's been training with Alejandro with Alexander Perez. We've all heard it. We all listened to that Joe Rogan episode.
Oh yeah.
Glover Teixeira is training with Perez.
Yeah.
Is that what you're gonna say?
No. Glover Teixeira has had a bit of a resurgence, so this isn't the Glover Teixeira that went on that losing streak a bit, where you kind of worried for him. This is a Glover Teixeira who is kind of finding those tools that kind of got him back to the top a little bit. That crisp boxing, cross hook counter that he likes to throw. But he's facing a guy who's fast and powerful.
Patient, this new Glover.
Yeah, he's patient. But he's facing a Thiago Santos who's fast comes at you with 100% and has a chin on him. So
He does. Let's see how. Yeah, he's wild. He throws some crazy capoeira kicks sometimes. Sometimes he'll just blitz at your ass.
yeah, and no fear. But the thing is, I will say, takedown defense a little suspect.
Especially if he goes for that blitz. And Glover is good at just changing levels. And man, he could win rounds. If Thiago Santos is too reckless, he could just take 2 minutes from a round just by putting him on his back. He could potentially finish the fight because Glover's submission game is underrated, man. Crushing top pressure.
Yeah.
But with that being said, that's about as much time as I can invest in this podcast today because I got to go teach jiu-jitsu.
Fair enough. Okay. Here's an aspect of it that I want to ask though before everyone leaves the room. Santos' ACL tear, or
ACL, MCL, LCL tear.
Yeah, everything.
Santos' general knee tear.
General knees really took a beating for this fight. How much do you think that affects him? Not at all. You think he's going to come out 100%?
It's hard to say. There's extreme cases like Tony Ferguson coming off an ACL surgery and then fighting like a near perfect performance against Anthony Pettis. And then there's like people who come back from an ACL surgery and are never quite the same. It's hard to say. I had an ACL surgery. My knee's now better than my non-ACL torn knee. But who knows? That's all three joints in your knee. Who's to say? Fairly late in his career. He's not a young,
He's not a spring chicken.
No. So with that being said, guys, have fun. I just want to say, fellow Canadian Tanner Boser.
That I was going to get
Co-main.
to that one. That's all I care about.
Yeah, you guys have fun. I actually have to go teach. So people out there at the Leg Kick, subscribe, like the podcast. Our interview with Sam Alvey is coming out. Jeremy and Mike are going to give you some excellent content. So just, I never say this to their faces, but they're really cool guys. And they're going to bring some entertaining content and some hot takes. So have fun. Okay, fuck you guys. You both suck.
I have to edit this.
I thought we were back to X-rated.
All right, be gone. Get out of my presence.
Come on.
Listen,
Papaya.
Papaya?
Papaya.
I like papaya.
I like papaya too, actually.
Apparently it grows your boobs. Like for women.
And Stefano.
Stefano, ladies and gentlemen. Stefano.
Stefano, ladies and gentlemen.
There it is. Give him a round of applause.
applause.
I'm bowing. Peace.
All right. Moving on down the card here. Now that I forgot that the internet's down, so I should have had this ready. But just to kind of give you guys a recap of everything else that's going on and that is going to be interesting is that Tanner Boser is fighting. He's going to be fighting Andrei Arlovski. Now, Tanner Boser, good, crisp boxing, great movement, shed the weight, shed the extra weight that kind of like weighed him down a little bit, but decided to stay in heavyweight instead of doing a weight cut every once in a while. And it's actually worked wonders for him. And so because of that, you got Tanner Boser who's light on
What's his specialty?
Boxing. He can box.
What's his opponent's specialty? Andrei
Arlovski, veteran of the game. A guy who has kind of figured it out since going to Jackson Winklejohn. A bit more patient with his game. A lot more of a boxing heavy guy, but he's a lot more patient, a lot more controlled, and he's not going to rush in as much as he used to. But you wonder about the chin with Andrei Arlovski. This is a guy who's been knocked out a ton. So with Tanner Boser has, again, great hand speed, crisp hand speed. He knocked out Pessoa with that overhand over the top, and Pessoa had no answer for him. And he also knocked out another gentleman with a crisp backhand hook combo. So this guy, Tanner Boser, can throw. He can throw. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting then.
Good luck, Tanner.
Yeah. Other matchups to kind of look out for is you got Ian Heinisch versus Allen. So that's gonna be interesting to see who's gonna kind of make their way. It's a ranked matchup, obviously. Claudia Gadelha versus Jan. So that's another one. And another good matchup I'm excited for, the well-rounded Diego Ferreira versus Drew Dober. Drew Dober is coming on like a freight train and is just running through everybody. So this is a good test for him as well. Yeah. I kind of have to wrap this up as soon as humanly possible. But Jeremy, anything you want to say on these matchups and other happenings going on?
Just excited to learn about new fighters, I guess. Don't really know anybody on this card, so I'm just excited to see good fights.
Yeah. All right. And with that, little message for everybody on the election, though. Listen, the one thing I'll advise everybody to do is please, whatever source you get, double check, triple check, quadruple check. I think knowing what your source is and knowing how to check a source to make sure it's legitimate is one of the lost arts of our society. I know we're an MMA podcast and I shouldn't be here telling people what to do, but I really advise caution in knowing what you're looking at. All right, and with that, stay safe, everybody.
Peace.